So once again, I am coming to you asking for your apologies for the audio. This microphone has a mind of its own. It's literally, I've not unplugged it, anything like that, and yet the audio is a bit weird again. Apologies.
Hello and welcome back to Around the Block. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode with some tasty fixtures coming up. We've got top of the table Zenit St. Petersburg first. We've got to beat them, otherwise we are cast adrift from a tartar race, I've got to say. And then after that, we've got Trabzonspor in the Europa Conference League. Win that, and I think we're pretty certain to go through our group, which is absolutely fantastic. First things first, though, let's go through the fixtures since you were last here before we talk about anything else. We've got quite a bit to talk about, actually. We've played 4 games since you guys were last here. We've won 3, and we've drawn 1 and had another change of tactics, which I think we maybe just settled on, maybe. We'll see. We started off with a 2-1 win, over Kimki, with Jimsborough and Slot scoring both goals in that game. Brilliant stuff. We then had a 1-1 draw with Spartak Moscow, which away from home against Spartak Moscow, the reigning champions. I was pretty pleased with that result. Joseph Mohamed with the penalty in that game. We then beat Trabzonspor 3-2 away from home in a really bizarre game, really, with this own goal from their goalkeeper being one of the most mental things I've ever seen in my life. Let's get up very quickly. We'll switch to the TV camera as well and zoom right in on this. I mean, you may have seen this on Twitter earlier on, but just look at this. What is their goalkeeper doing? He just kicks it into post and it goes in the back of the net. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, how it happened, but it was quite funny. Either way, we won the game. I'm not complaining, but if that was me on the receiving end of that, I would be absolutely fuming. However, in these 3 games, I wasn't that impressed with our defending or the amount of chances we were creating, if I'm honest with you. So I decided to change formation again, and it's worked relatively well against Torpedo Moscow. We're playing 5 at the back, a 5-2-1-2. I'll show you this in a second, but this is the new formation that we decided to use against Torpedo Moscow. We got a 2-0 victory, our first clean sheet for quite some time as well, and 2 goals as well without reply. It was a good result. Torpedo Moscow aren't the best team around, but it was still pleasing. Now, before I show you this formation, before I forget, we'll have a quick look at the Russian Premier League table. We're currently 5th right now, but we do have games in hand on some teams ahead of us, including Zenit St. Petersburg. So right now, we're 12 points behind them. So we need to win this game to go 9 points behind them, and then win our game in hand, we'll only be 6 points behind them. So we can claw our way back to them a little bit, as we are right at the halfway stage of the season. We only play 30 games in Russia, so we're right at the halfway stage of the season. We need to be trying to catch up to those first place finishes, but obviously a top 3 finish gets us Champions League football as well. So that's the game, top 3. The board wants us to win it, obviously, and if we don't win it, I feel like I could get sacked, which I don't want, obviously, but a top 3, I think, is what my aim is. But as we are about to head into this game against Zenit, this is the new formation, okay? And it's there's method to the madness here. I made a list. I say I made a list. I went to the team, searched it by current ability, and just sort of went down to see what everyone was good at. And as you can see, we've got 3 centre-backs here, and like the top 8 players or so. We've got Horny as left back there, and we've got a right back in Borisov there. So it kind of made sense to me. If these are our best players, a back 5 is... But it probably makes sense. So that's why I decided to go for a back 5. We've also got Mohamed in there, Oblyakov at the top as 2 of the best players in the team. So that's why we've got a midfield too. And a Brun Slot as well as a player. He's the second best player in the squad, so he's obviously got to be in the team. So it just made sense to play a 5-2-1-2, have a bit of a linking play in the middle there. Another striker to try and provide a bit of help. And this is kind of what I came up with, a tiki-taka style of play. And the reason behind this is we do have really good passes of the ball. Obviously, Oblyakov 14 passing is very good. Mohamed has got passing of 14 as well. But looking at centre-back, Sadikov's got passing of 11 for a centre-back, which is good. So he's a ball-playing defender. London has got passing of 14, which is really good as well for a centre-back. And even Anton, I bet, has probably got decent passing of 11 as well. But we'll have a bit more of a centre-back on cover just to try and protect us a little bit. We've got Boris and Horn, of course, who can actually maybe go on to attacking wing-backs just a little bit. We'll leave on support for now because they're slightly better than that duty, and particularly against Zenit St. Petersburg. But we can have these guys bombing coming down the wings a little bit to provide a bit more support. So in my head, theoretically, this works really well. Obviously, you've got good passers as well, and it did say in the team report, assistant report down here, in terms of off-the-ball movement, the team is really good at off-the-ball movement, and that obviously helped massively in tiki-taka style of play. You need that movement to make the passing. So that was my thinking, but I don't know if I'm overthinking it. That's the thing, because if if you look at our results as a whole, we lost 1, 2, 3 games, 3 competitive games all season. That's all we've lost. We have got quite a few draws in here, but we have only lost 3 competitive games. But I just don't feel that confident in the team yet that they're going to win every single game. I do come into games feeling a little bit nervous. So I don't know if I'm just overthinking it or there is actual hesitation there. Now, obviously, it'd be much better, I think, for Horny and Borisov to play in the wing-back positions, but they're just not suited to it right now. So I'm training them to be in that position, but they're just not suited to it right now. So a flat back 5 is what's going to be. As we head into the game against Zenit, I've pretty much told you the lineup, actually, haven't I, already, by talking through the best players and whatnot. So this is your lineup, and hopefully, they'll get the business done against Zenit. Right then, kickoff is upon us. I've just found my Moscow scarf, so put that on very quickly as well. And I should say, tomorrow is Saturday because that's how days work. But tomorrow we're going to be doing some more live streaming over on Twitch at 2 p.m. with the Arsenal save. We don't normally do twitching. We don't normally do live streaming over on Twitch at the weekend, but we're doing it this weekend. So 2 o'clock tomorrow, if you've got some free time, come along, say hi and help me out over there on the live stream. It'd be great to see as Zenit go close early on in this game. 15 minutes, only 1 shot. So obviously we're doing quite well limiting the chances they have, but we're not creating good opportunities ourselves until, of course, Obliakov puts the ball into Brun's slot for his 11th of the season. You love to see it. And we've taken the lead against Zenit St. Petersburg. A terrible missed header there from that defender, and Brun slots in there to score his 11th of the season. Fantastic stuff. And this sort of it brings me nicely because Brunslot is a foreign player that we've got. We're only allowed 8 foreign players in Russia. He's one, as is Mohammed, and they are 2 of the best players in the squad. And really, because we're only allowed 8 foreign players, those 8 players should be the best players in the squad. So Brunslot and Mohammed, they sort of fit that bill quite nicely. They're 2 foreign players who are 2 of the best players in the squad. The other 6 foreign players that we've got, they're average. They're all like 3-star players. And if I'm being honest, we need to be, if we want to win Russian Premier League and get far in European competitions, we need to be ruthless with what we've got. So we probably might have to get rid of 1 or 2 foreign players, despite them being quite decent, as Borisov grabbed his first goal of the season there to make it 2-0. A fantastic first half in today's game. But as I was saying, we brought Lenigel in, and he's a very good player, but for the CSK Moscow side, he's average. And we could get another Russian player in who's just as good, take that sort of average slot. And we could get a foreign player who's an awful lot better than Lenigel coming in to take Lenigel's foreign player spot. So that's what I'm thinking. I think that's what we might have to start looking to do in January, more so for next season, I think, rather than trying to change things up in the middle of the season transfer window. But at half time we're 2-0 up, so maybe I'm complaining, and we don't need to change things up because the foreign players that we've got right now are beating Zenit, who are top of the table 2-0. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, because I feel like I've made a bit of a mess of that when I'm talking about it. But you get what I'm saying, because we need the squad to be as good as it possibly can be. And to do that, we have to bring in the very best foreign players available to us. And right now, we've not got that. Even if we do have a side capable of beating Zenit St. Petersburg, who are top of the table right now, one of the favourites for the title, we drew against Spartak Moscow, who are the reigning title holders. They've got Scott McTominay, for example, Zenit St. Petersburg, it said up there. They've got Scott McTominay. Like, he must be a 4-star quality player. He must be one of the best players in their squad. And that's what we're missing. We're missing those really vital foreign players and things like that. So going forward, I think that's going to be our transfer policy of trying to sell some of the foreign players that we've got, as Cherchev makes it 3-0. What a fantastic finish from him. His 2nd of the season, assisted by Mohammed. And I can't believe we're 3-0 up against Zenit St. Petersburg. Now, I believe we beat them. Did we beat them? I think we drew 1-1 with them at their place right at the start of the season. I remember it correctly. We drew 1-1 with them in a very close game. But this time around, blimey, we are calling the shots. And the thing is, we aren't creating the opportunities. We've created less opportunities. But defensively, we're holding out really strong with our 5 at the back system. They can't get too close because we've got some players at the back. And the chances we're creating, they're trying to push players forward, I presume, and then we're making the best of that when we actually do attack, maybe. That's maybe what's happening. But hopefully it all works out for us. If we get a good win against Zenit St. Petersburg here, this formation could be the thing that we have to look forward to. And that's the formation that we build for in the future, and we bring players in to fit into this formation. But it's difficult to know what to do, particularly when we're only halfway through the season. This is our 3rd formation. Probably being a bit too eager changing things up as Brunslot can't make it 4 there. We have, though, just made it 4. I was drinking, had a mouthful of water at the time, so I completely missed it. But we get across in the middle from Oblyakov, and it's headed down to Mohamed from Markovic. Great awareness there from Markovic to head it down to Mohamed, who thumps that into the back of a net. And we're now beating Zenit 4-0, and this is a really, really dominant display. We're going to got 10 minutes or so left. Borisov looking tired. Let's take him off for... We've not really got a backup right back, actually. We've got the left backs. This guy, Fila, can kind of play right back, but not really play right back. Oblyakov's tired, so we'll bring Lenny Gel on for him as well. And one more change. I think Horny will come off for Aki because the wing backs, they are really relied on in this system to provide the width. So they're going to get really tired. So we do need some quality backup players in those positions as well. So we need to look at that in January or whenever the transfer window is, as well as Lenigel into Mohamed. Can we make it 5 against Zenit St. Petersburg? As Markovic has been put forward in the area, can he get the ball across to Brunslot? He does, but he puts it over the bar. And I think that is going to be that. We've got 2 minutes of the time. The clock ticks down. CSK Moscow 4. Zenit St. Petersburg 0. It moves us up to second in the table as well. We started off at 5th. We're now up to second in the table at 9 points off Zenit, but win our game in hand, 6 points behind, and we're on for a real title fight then. 86 passes completed by Oblyakov. That is absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. We'll praise him for that. Your passing was a joy to behold. Keep it up. He's very pleased with that. Oblyakov is the best player in the squad. Obviously, I think current ability is also dictated by form, these stars. Because normally he's like a 4-star player, but he's been playing really well recently. He's in a rich vein of form, as we can see here. And that's pushed him up to a 4.5-star current ability. I don't think he is typically, but he's been a fantastic player. A player that I thought about selling right at the start, because a lot of money, aging a little bit, but he's proved me wrong. Our Europa Conference League group is looking pretty comfortable. We sit top of it with 7 points. KGHM actually in second place on 5, Trabzonspor on 4, and Stabæk on 0. Win our game against Trabzonspor, and we are pretty much guaranteed to go through, because at that stage, well, Stabæk can't catch us at that stage because we're on 10 points. They'd be on 3 with 6 to go if they won their game, for example. Trabzonspor might be able to make up those 6 points to us, although we'd have a better head-to-head record against them, wouldn't we? So actually, I think we probably would be qualified after this game. Now, by looks of things, I've been ignoring the news sort of in between the games. Mohamed's picked up an injury. He's out for 3 weeks with pulled knee ligaments. But that's okay, because Lenny Gel can come on for him instead. That's absolutely fine. We'll just take him off the bench for someone else. Right. I don't think we change the lineup because it played so well against Zenit. And I think we keep the same formation. However, my concern is it worked really well against Zenit because they were a better team than us and they were pushing quite a lot. We held back and scored some good goals on counter-attack or something like that. For a team where I would say we're better than Trabzonspor, is this going to just be ineffective? I don't know, but let's find out. So once again, kickoff is upon us. Of course, if you've not done so already, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here for daily Football Manager content. We need the win here today to pretty much guarantee ourselves through into the knockout stages of the Europa Conference League. And with shots like that, Trabzonspor aren't going to score past us anytime soon. But they've had 3 shots to our 0 right now. And potentially, we have to look to switch things up at half-time to the diamond, for example, or the winger formation. I just think this formation, maybe it's just ineffective against teams. Or saying that, we are getting back into the game now. I feel like I'm speaking too soon, actually. I'm speaking a bit too soon. Just need to calm down and just reflect on this after a good 10 games or so, maybe, and see how it's worked. We've picked up a penalty, though, as Sabitzer looks like he gets involved there with Bruns Lars. It's going to VAR. And is it going to be a penalty to us? I think it should be, because I'm the CSK Moscow manager, and I think it should be a penalty to CSK Moscow. Because obviously it was a foul, and it does say penalty, which is great to see. Cheshev is going to be taking it, which is fine by me, because he's got 12 finishing, 9 penalty taking. Yeah, go on. You take that one, lad. You take it. Put it in the back of the net for a third of the season. Not scoring quite as many goals as we thought he could do, Cheshev, but does get his third of the season. You love to see it from the penalty spot, and we go 1-0 up. Unfortunately, though, just before half-time, Borisov has picked up a knock, a potential foot injury, and we don't want him to be out for too long, so I think it might be safe just to take him off, bring Akivon on that right-hand side. He can play there okay, the youngster. He's got both right and left-footed abilities, so he's very useful to have to play in both his positions, so hopefully he'll be okay for the rest of the game. We do have a chance, though, as London with the ball Huge ball up to Markovic, who's unmarked. 1-1 with the keeper now. And scores. What a fantastic goal that is. Markovic with his 6th goal of the season, which is great to see for, again, another youngster brought in this season. Before, actually, I came to the club, he was brought in. But I think he's 18 years old. Good 5-star potential. Getting lots of game time. Hopefully he'll realise that in the next couple of seasons. And he's a foreign player. And I did say earlier that we need these foreign players to be the best 6 player or best 8 players that we've got. He's right down the list at the moment because he's only 2-star current ability. But if he gets to the 5-star potential in the next couple of seasons, he will be one of the best players in the squad, as we've nearly made it 3-0 there. I think really what I have to do at some point is just sit down, look at the squad, decide who we need to get rid of in terms of the foreign players, look and see what improvements are available to us, how cheap they are, how expensive they could be, what's available to us essentially. And then sort of go from there, I think. But we've won the game against CSK Moscow. Stabæk and KGHM drew, so 4 points clear of them. Obviously, they win both their games. They can go to 12 points. Trabzonspor win both their games and go to 10 points as well. But we've beaten Trabzonspor twice now, which means we've got a better head-to-head record. So if they go and win both their games, we lose both of ours, and they go to 10 points, we'd still be ahead of them. So as far as I'm concerned, we've qualified from our group right now, and hopefully the news will tell us that as well. Possession is good, receive money, Borisov out for 1 to 2 days. Doesn't say anything about qualification. Oh, we have qualified. There we go. We've got the queue next to us now. You love to see it. Qualified from our group. We're not sure first or second yet, but given the way we've been playing, I imagine it's going to be first in our group, which is great. Brilliant. What a fantastic end to the episode. So we came into today's episode saying we've got to win these 2 games. And what have we done? We've won these 2 games. Very pleased with that. I think next time we're going to come back probably in February, because I imagine the Europa Conference League knockout rounds are in February. Although we might go into say, depends when we come, but I reckon we're going to come back right after winter break for Europa Conference League football. So not quite sure exactly when I'll come back to see. We should get our youth intake in February as well, actually. Youth candidates in every February match is organised. So it should be in February when we get the youth intake as well. So next episode, there's going to be so much stuff for you to see. But either way, thank you ever so much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.